It's a great day, and a great day it is indeed. And you're listening to the Talk That Talk weekly podcast, sponsored by the Celebrity Spotlight Live Talk Show. I'm your happy host, Modesty. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another week of the Talk That Talk weekly podcast. I have what I believe is an intriguing show for you today, and I do hope that you enjoy it and will be enlightened by it. Every week on the Talk That Talk podcast, I start the podcast off with a quote or a scripture because words have meaning and words are powerful. Words can cut and words can heal. Words can empower and words can reveal. Words can motivate. Words can inspire. Words will give you confidence. Words can take you higher. Pardon me. I think I just rapped. So the quote for this week's podcast is, "Anxiety does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows." Meaning, worrying and panicking about things today will not remove nor solve them by tomorrow. But it will only empty today of its strength, meaning it will deprive you of the strength that you need for your tomorrow/the next day. This quote is credited to the late great Baptist theologian Charles Haddon Spurgeon, who is recognized all over the world as the Prince of Preachers. He was a magnificent theological orator, lecturer, preacher, teacher, intellect, and scholar. Pardon me. He authored numerous literary works such as commentaries, poems, hymns, devotionals, magazines, and so much more. My commentary on this quote is, it doesn't pay nor is it beneficial to feed one's anxiety. This I know to be true from experience myself. There were times in my life in the past where I was so filled with anxiety about certain things that they had become idols in my life, morning, noon, and night. My concerns were on my mind and had become my mental roommates until I decided that if I was going to worry, it didn't make sense to pray. But if I was going to pray, I would have to divorce myself of anxiety and worry and then trust God unequivocally. What is anxiety? It's tension, a feeling of doubt. Anxiety is restlessness, it's worry, it's panic, uneasiness, and uncertainty. Faith, though, is a good remedy for anxiety. Now, how do you know when anxiety has taken up residence in your life? Well, when you go to bed at night, wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, and go about your day, and the same thought or concern is on your mind. It's like you can't shake it. It's like a garment, another layer of skin that you wear and can't take off. But there is an answer. There is an answer, and there's a solution. Faith, let me say, and faith in and of itself has several meanings. Faith is belief in God or in the doctrines or teachings of religion, such as the Christian faith, the Jewish faith, the Muslim faith. Faith is being in anything, faith is belief in anything as a code of ethics or standards. An example, John and Sharon are of the same faith. They attend the same church or ministry. They believe in the same standards and codes of ethics. Then faith is also the obligation of loyalty or fidelity to a person. Another example, a promise of an engagement, marital or business. Susan and Greg are faithful to their marriage. He was not faithful to the business agreement with his partner. The definition of faith that I'm referring to is unwavering, concrete, absolute, and confident belief in the power and authority of God to perform, act, and intervene on your behalf and in your life. Faith is like the vehicle that drives you into the presence of God, where you can obtain strength, peace, calmness, and confidence. So, no matter what you encounter in life, hold on to your faith. And last but certainly not least, you are stronger than you think. Okay? It's time for me to appreciate my listeners with shout outs and mentions. So if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. And to couples that are celebrating their wedding anniversary, whether it's your first year, your third year, your fifth, 10th, 20th year or more, happy anniversary to you. Pardon me. And to all retirees and retirees to be for 2018, happy retirement and enjoy the rest of your life. Why? Because you deserve it. It's your time. Next is the segment called Did You Know? This is part one. I'll do next week, or next week's podcast, I'll do part two. This is where I will be sharing interesting facts that you may or may not know about everyday things that we use, that we see, and have become dependent upon, and more. First on the list, bathroom tissue. Did you know that bathroom tissue was introduced to America in 1857 by a businessman named John Gayetti? He produced the bathroom paper as single sheets. They were sold separately. Can you believe that? And that idea at first failed. Okay. In 1879, a British manufacturer by the name of Walter Alcott took Gayetti's idea to another level. He developed the idea of bathroom tissue as one roll, but with perforated or tear sheets as opposed to individual sheets. The user had the ability to tear off as many sheets as needed. It took him now nearly 10 years to produce the product, to mass produce the product, to advertise it, and lastly to convince the populace in England at that time to accept it and to buy it. It was definitely not a part of everyday conversation or something that they discussed at the dinner table during that time. It would have been considered as very inappropriate. But in 1879 as well, two brothers from Philadelphia, namely Joseph and Clarence Scott. Focus in on that last name. They started a paper products business. Their products were disposable and could not be reused or recycled. Now, to them, bathroom tissue was a gold mine. So they took what started out as a roll of perforated tissue, started out as single sheets, then it turned into perforated tissue, 500 sheets to be exact, and they downsized the roll, making it smaller and more convenient and a space saver in the bathroom. And they became very successful in the 1880s. Now, at that time, the bathroom tissue was called Waldorf tissue, but it was eventually changed to what we know of today as Scott tissue. Okay, named after the Scott brothers, Joseph and Clarence. Next is the toothbrush. Did you know that the oldest discovery of the toothbrush is dated back to 3000 BC, and it was found in Egypt? It wasn't referred to as the toothbrush back then, but chew sticks that were put into the mouth, chewed, and then discarded. Believe it or not, certain countries still practice the use of chew sticks today. The bristle toothbrush is believed to have originated in China. Now, I'm not trying to gross you out, but I have to tell the truth, okay? I'm not trying to gross you out. But animal hair, namely that of a pig or a horse, that's right, was utilized to make the toothbrush, the bristle toothbrush. Of course, it became problematic because of the hard bristles and the bacteria and the germs that it would generate from its usage. Insert, not a good idea. Okay, that's my insert. Now, in the United States in 1938, a plan was in the works to revolutionize the toothbrush by using nylon brushes. So they wanted to change from bristle to nylon, and I can't say I blame them. This ideology of nylon bristles for the toothbrush was introduced by DuPont, a major chemical company that initially was a gunpowder mill. DuPont perfected the toothbrush. It was referred to back then as Dr. West's Miracle Tuft toothbrush. Whew, what a name. I'm talking about the late 30s now. From that time until now, technology and its advances have produced the electric toothbrush and the cordless toothbrush, both of which have made dental hygiene and life for us more convenient. Applause insert right here. Thank goodness for the manual toothbrush, the electric, and the cordless toothbrush. And thank goodness for dental floss and mouthwash and dental strips and peppermints. Let the church say amen. All right, now on to the topic for today. I'm going to focus on aspiring authors. Okay, the topic is There's a Book Inside of Me: How to Slay Your First Book. If you have a testimony about experiences or a story about experiences, encounters, challenges, as well as breakthroughs and victories in your life, then you can write a book. Everyone has a story to tell. And nowadays, children under the age of 10 are even writing books. Not about trials and tribulations, but about having friends and what they want to become as adults, their favorite stuffed animal or real animal, etc. There is no such belief anymore that one has to be an adult or over the age of 18 to write a book. The opportunities available to us nowadays are limitless. In addition, prior to writing my autobiography, I was of the mindset that you had to be either a celebrity, famous, rich, or wealthy to become an author. But that is the furthest thing from the truth. It doesn't take forever to write a book, and a college degree is not required. Okay, if you consider yourself an expert on a certain subject that you have fully experienced, or you want to empower or inspire others, you want to share your failures, successes, and triumphs, lessons that life has taught you, or you want to write what's on your mind from the premise of fiction or creativity, it can be done. And you don't have to be famous to do it. I'm going to touch on this briefly as it relates to the different genres of books that have been and can be written. Okay, the genres are: there are prayer books, self-help books, there are guides, science fiction, not true to life but based upon imagination and creativity. Then there's nonfiction, true to life. Then there is mystery and drama and commentaries, and the list goes on and on and on. I will go into depth about how to write and publish a book in an upcoming seminar entitled There's a Book Inside of Me: How to Slay Your First Book, and I'll keep you abreast of that. Well, it's that time again. It's time to say see ya. Thank you for listening, and thank you so much for joining me today. The Talk That Talk podcast lasts, I would say, between 15 and 30 minutes. Okay, that's where we share everything on a weekly basis. So it's time for me to say goodbye. If you would like to book me as a host or a keynote speaker for a women's enrichment, a women's brunch, or a women's luncheon, or a women's session, or a women's panel, you can call me at 646-515-4375 or shoot me a quick email at celebrityspotlightlive@gmail.com. I also conduct 15 and 30-minute promotional interviews for new business professionals, entrepreneurs, entertainment professionals, authors, ministers, and other professionals on another platform. For information about that, visit csltalkshow.com. I welcome your feedback as I do every week. Feel free to share your comments or remarks about the podcast by emailing me at celebrityspotlightlive@gmail.com. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening. Your joy matters. Your peace matters. Your happiness matters. So be safe, be blessed, and be happy.